Greetings YouTube. Last year I put up this awning for my mother-in-law's AC unit. This is the AC unit. We've already wrapped it up for the winter. And the purpose of this awning was to keep the load of snow and heavy rain off of the unit, but also to keep a lot of the sun off. This is a south-facing wall, and as is my porch upstairs, and we get so much sun in there that it can be 10 degrees outside and that porch is comfortable. We get heat gain from our porch frequently. We open the kitchen door and let heat go from our porch into our house because the porch is warmer than our house. And in the summertime, it can be 130 friggin' degrees in there. We have insulated blinds for all the windows except the door, just to try to cut down on the amount of heat that gets in that room. It is just brutal in there in the summertime. So we get a lot of heat on this side of the building. It would be great for solar panels someday, hoping we can afford to get some. And so this was going to hopefully keep at least the straight, the high angle sun rays in the summer out of off this unit. So because I didn't want the unit making any more work for itself than it needed to. But over the course of the last year, well, I guess it's been about a year, we have discovered that there were a number of problems with what I had done. One of the first ones is that this particular mount came loose at the top. The bottom one stayed just fine. So what I did is that I removed all of the fasteners one at a time, and I replaced them, as well as squeezing liquid nails adhesive into each hole. That would help seal it and help give it a bite. Because the problem, we're not getting a lot of bite in this wall. There isn't much there to grab. It's kind of annoying. So what I used here were 4.5-inch Spax screws. That's S-P-A-X. And they are a Star Drive or Torx head screw. This model here, the large one, uses a T30, which is a very big bit. And they actually have a little bit of a depression at the bottom, which is reflected in the bit, so the bit actually lines itself up really nicely at the bottom. It's proprietary, but you'd be able to use any kind of a T30 star bit in there if you can get your hands on one. They're not common. T30 is not a common size. I've got one now because I bought it when I bought the unit, the bolts themselves. But that did a really nice job, held it in place. I didn't do anything to these down here because these are working in compression as opposed to up there, which is working under stress. So I took care of that. In addition, I put this in here the next day. I discovered that this was bowing. So I took another piece of this angle grinder here, and I believe this is a free piece I got. Cut the end off here and just replaced these two bolts with something that was a little bit longer so that they would fit all the way through here and reach through the wood. Nibbling away at this was kind of annoying because I had to get around these hinges, which I didn't factor into when I took my initial measurements. I ended up taking this back down to the shop and doing little nibbling bits quite a few times so I got the exact measurements I wanted, but that's life. But this is now no longer bowed, so that's a good thing. So that means the load will be handled better this winter, and it will put less stress on the wood and less stress on the overall structure, because now the steel frame I have created for the bottom is handling almost all of the heavy lifting. So yeah, I'm happy about that. So this is mostly about an update video about what I had to do after a year of experiencing the wear and tear on this particular design I came up with. And other than that, it's been worked pretty well. It's kept the thing snow free for the most part. You get a little bit of snow in the top, but it's a very small amount. So because there's so much heat here, whatever snow does end up there gets melted fairly quickly. But I wanted to keep the snow load directly because I didn't want it sitting on that flat top of the the unit. That's not good for it. Alrighty, so this is the update I've done here. I hope that you enjoyed it. Notice that sometimes projects you design don't always last the way you think they will, but you can improve them over time.